So crocodiles are not supposed to walk. They're not supposed. They crawl. They crawl on their belly because that's the judgment on reptiles. Yeah, but the ones in my dream were standing, evidencing rebellion by the devil and insistence on basically being that which God has judged you to be, the opposite of it. Yeah, 4 crocodiles were standing. 4 or 5, like just a couple of them. They were standing on twos, and they're you know how a crocodile is on its fours, crawling on its belly like an iron, and the 4 legs are there, and then there's the hind legs that it pushes itself ahead to move. Well, these 2 legs were like here, like the way that a brontosaurus or whatever, like a dinosaur that's got small little, or a kangaroo that's got small little hands like here. The crocodiles had hands like those, and with those little hands that were just sticking out from their body, they were holding this guy. And then with the hind legs, they were standing, prostate prenely like a model. They were standing, and they were holding this guy hostage at that river. 4 crocodiles. That's like there was a sense of foreboding in that dream. When I woke up, I was like, God, and I don't know what in the world that dream means, but please talk to me. Tell me, say something. I'm giving up on you. Except I don't really give up on God. I just wanted to sing the song. Yeah, that the Lord immediately explained to me after the 3rd dream that I got. What in the world was the Lord showing me over there? He was like, this man that you think is your future husband, you're gonna walk away from him. You're gonna let him go. You're gonna overcome. You're gonna get over the fact that you are in love with a man that's gonna end up somewhere else. But he is held hostage by a woman, and this woman was told by her sangoma to essentially dig a hole, put women paraphernalia, and basically everything I told you about what that meant. And so the dream first manifests with me being where it is that those things were buried. The 2nd dream, I then saw the paraphernalia. 3rd dream, I walked away, but he was held hostage by what? Crocodiles. The 2nd dream, he was hazarding, showing me that you will see him, but he will disappear. See him, but he will disappear, but he will always be ungrabbable and ungraspable. I thought he was my husband. I love that guy so much. When he got married, when I found out that he got married, I literally mourned like a baby. I wept. Yeah, well, he was a witch. In and of himself, he was involved in black magic. So essentially what the Lord was showing me is that if that man had given his life all truly to me, he wouldn't have been clashed by some crazy little satanic harlot. The woman he married did that to him. The woman he married did that also to me. She didn't so much do it to me, but rather to a woman that he had affections for. So he was made to basically forget me. He was made to not see me anymore. Well, I walked away. I'm safe now. And yes, I'm still getting married in the morning. Yeah, I'm getting mine. He was never supposed to be my husband. They deserve each other. He was a witch in and of himself. So I ultimately let go. So I walked out of that funny little bush and onto a gravel road, and the man was stuck stranded right there at the river, because apart from Jesus Christ, there is only one name under heaven given among men by which men must be saved. Yeah, apart from Christ, you don't get out of stuff like that. Apart from Christ, you don't escape a call yabungoma. Apart from Christ, you don't. Proper. I walked away because, really, has held him hostage. But as for that guy, so let him stay with the crocodiles. Let him hang out with the crocodiles like they're a homie. Let him hang with them crocodila. Let him do that. Like, I don't care anymore. In the same way that I cannot have a Ronaldi and voice of France that are falling out of buildings and die. It's how the South Africans keep on jumping off buildings by happenstance and then coming off dead. Bodies getting delivered and everything to your countries. Keep doing that. Because look at what you did to me over a whole decade. Look. That can't keep his balance until he falls off a hotel building. Do you? Wait, no. Listen, I don't care. Because what in the world are you doing? Why is a man held hostage at the river by crocodiles? And speaking of those crocodiles, that's what I'm actually getting to. They commune with animals. So basically the satanic spirits that this woman was using were crocodiles. Then her witch doctor, Sangomaya Hahe, the spirit that she tapped into to effect this magic was a marine spirit, a river spirit, the animal spirit of which in the marine space that she was using was a crocodile. And that's why that man was held hostage by crocodiles at the river. They commune with animals in ways that we ought not be able to commune with animals. I have a cat, and every so often I'm like, catty, and then it knows its name and its ear just kind of goes, yeah. But that's as much as I'm getting into an animal. But if I'm gonna prosper to make my cat, because witches use cats too, if I'm gonna prosper to make my cat steal a man, listen, I'm sorry, you are disrespecting creation, and you are giving condemned creation powers that it ought not have. After all, is a snake or a reptile not supposed to be on its belly? But look at those crocodiles out here walking, evidencing rebellion against God. Congo must do stuff like that. They do stuff like that. Hey, it's your country, take it. Keep jumping off buildings. Like I said, listen, I don't care. Take your country. Listen, African spirituality, you think this is power. It's barbarism. It's incendiary. It's wicked. It's satanic. It's ugly. And some of y'all are so deep into it that you can't even be redeemed because you've mixed your blood with that of entities of animals, and so you can no longer come to Christ because you are mixed with the spirit of a crocodile. You are mixed with the DNA of a bull. You are mixed, or whatever. Like, listen, take your country. Take it. Thinking that you can tap into power that God never gave you to have. Like, Papa, if you want to take it, but as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord and leave you all by your lonesome. Thanks for you. South Africa, listen, I have tried. Gizame, to no avail. You feel entitled to me. And you think I am up for grabs as a second wife? Your sangoma said out to be using crocodile spirits be causing men to be stranded at rivers with crazy women, with crazy wives. Heavy. Precisely because why didn't you let go of darkness? But you see, dude out here be thinking that this thing pays off until one day it becomes dust in his mouth. Now he's married to a spiritual harlot of more prolific proportions. And he wishes he had listened to his gut feeling concerning me, but really and truly you had to be headed over to your own reprobate mind, because what are you doing? Bewitching a woman to make sure she never gets married, even though you deserve everything that's coming your way, South Africa. Listen, you do. I thoroughly, listen, with every bone in my body, do not, like I'm waving it, like I can waving them around like I just don't care. Like I'm at a concert, I don't care. They commune with animals to the point of doing rituals of that nature. The other day I was watching a video on YouTube that I made a decision that never again am I going to watch this guy's content because he's showing me things that are too grieving. And somebody had taken a video recording of Homuya Yametsing or Homuya Noa Yametsing, some little ZCC ritual that is done with a cow that is mixed with a serpent. And this thing was out here walking out like a crocodile out of the river, but it was a cow and a snake at the same time. It had a long snake-like tail. And apparently this is what Hlongwane uses for his rituals. And it was recorded. And you know how night vision, when you record something with night vision, sometimes people's eyes can glow because of the night vision that you have on. That told me that it was real. It was not fabricated, because if it was fabricated by artificial intelligence, it would not have had that camera issue, because it was recorded with a night vision camera. And I was like, this stuff is real. I'm sorry, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see a freaking ugly little stupid dirty hybrid animal mixed with a cow and a snake, because people love to worship trash that God did not make. I am literally not doing it. Do you understand? So whether or not it's there for my edification, bottom line is, listen, it's not edifying for me to see some funny little serpent mixed with a cow. It's not edifying. It just tells me that I'm living in a cesspool of darkness. The fact that people can stand in front of that and worship it vomit money. No, people can freak themselves out and see such things and not scream. Why are you not screaming? I mean, if you were to wake up and see some ominous thing, a grudge, or just like over you at night as you sleep, would you not scream? Would you not scream? When I was busy watching Netflix, because I allowed myself to be grieved by the secular entertainment, I finally walked away from Netflix. But during the time when I was watching Netflix, I watched The Haunting at Bly Manor. And one of the children over there kept on seeing some woman with long hair, her neck bent, and like hovering over her at bed, in bed. One of the little girl children hovering over her bed at night as she slept. And when she would see this thing upon opening her eyes, she would get out of her bed, run, scream, go to her dad, go to her mom. I was like, Mom, Dad, the neck break woman is here again. That's how people react when they see anomalous stuff. Or at least that's how they should. Okay, that's how you know you're not mentally ill. When you see a thing that goes bump in the night, you run from it, you scream. But when you're communing with it, when you are so used to living with entities that you literally have got to mess with the aesthetics of your bedroom until you've got paint cans underneath your bed because you don't want the tikoloshi to climb on your bed. You are accommodating that you live among satanic entities. You are literally at ease. You are literally in a bubble bath, practically swimming in a jacuzzi, living with the entities saying, but gunjalo, it's like living in a haunted house and not moving. If you don't move, you're weird. And occult practitioners are these freakazoids all over the show that live with such things, and never mind not moving from a haunted mansion, but they actually commune with them without being scared. Why are you not screaming? Why are you not saying, Mommy, Daddy, there is the breakneck lady again looking at me? Why aren't you freaking out? What the heck? You've been taught to be okay with seeing freaky stuff. That's my country. It's a feverish frenzy of a cult. You have sightings and you live there anyway. You pursue them. You consult them. And when they haunt you, you call yourself spiritually gifted. Listen, I'm sorry. Take your little cult and understand that I want nothing to do with it. It's on a mountain perched. It's isolated from everybody. It's a pariah. And one day you're all going to burn yourselves inside it, saying that you are going to your God finally. Because somebody managed to convince you that this here is a normal life to live. But as for me and my house, we're going to immigrate. I'm not going to live in this haunted mansion because you endured me through it long enough. I've been screaming for years. I have been screaming for years. Because that's what you do when a haunting is all up in your freaking grill. You scream. I've been screaming and I won't ever stop screaming. But listen to this. I've been screaming and I'll never stop screaming. But listen to this. There are people that think that the day's gonna come and one day I'm out here hanging out with a crocodile at the river that's walking on its tooth and say, but this makes for spirituality. When I see a haunting at Bly Manor, I'm like, oh, and a car race. I jostle in my sleep and I run all night. That's a human being. That's normal. And people are expecting me to calm down. They expect me, like, have you seen Nightmare on Elm Street? from back in the day. You know how there's a scene where Freddy Krueger out to be pursuing this one teenage girl and she's running away from him and she can't run because there's bubble gum underneath her feet. Freddy's catching up and she's trying to run and she can't. She finally dies. Yeah, imagine that teenage girl. Freddy Krueger's out coming for her. She's got bubble gum underneath her feet. She can't run. And then Freddy finally catches up with her and his long fingernails that are nasty, he then does that on her shoulder. He then touches her shoulder, and upon touching her shoulder, Freddy, the chick is like, oh, I guess you're not that bad. It's just that you look so nasty. I mean, why does your face look like that? I thought you were scary, Freddy, but you're my friend. And Freddy's like, oh, that's what I wanted you to see. I wanted you to realize that I'm not really a monster. I'm just different. I just have different beliefs and I'm from a different dimension. But I just want to live among you. And the teenage girl was like, oh, I thought you were out here trying to kill me. But I see, Freddy, that you mean well. And Freddy's like, thank you. Thank you for finally understanding where I'm coming from. And his slimy hand keeps doing that with its sharp fingernails and the long, sharp fingernails that could, at any given moment, groove into her, pierce into her lungs, and puncture them to death. But no, I'm friendly Freddy. I got people in the occult family trying to make out of themselves that crazy little Candyman, that crazy little Freddy Krueger. Weird, slimy, long hands with sharp fingernails that could groove into my lungs until they're punctured unto death and make me see where they're coming from, because it just so happens to be a Freddy Krueger that has feelings for the girl that's fleeing from him in the dream. And so because he has feelings for her, listen, I won't kill you if you just have sex with me. I'm dealing with monsters of that nature. They're scary. They're things that go bump in the night. They're the 8 medieval horror. They're the grudge. They're freaking scary. And I've been running on bubblegum for years. And now their hands are on my shoulder. And I'm grabbing, listen, they're on that tape. And all I can do is, still screaming, still wrestling, still fighting, still trying to run. And because I'm in Christ, even though I can't run away fast enough, they can't kill me. And this is what I'm doing. I am chopping their fingers with any weapon I can find. I'm trying to use it. Holy Bible. This is Freddy to me. And Freddy's like, I'm not gonna kill you because you are the one person I like out of all the people that I haunt. You're my girl. What? Have you seen the movie Candyman? That Okibi after having a crush on a white lady caused her to lose everything and look like she done murdered everybody because she just so happens to be the one person that Candyman doesn't kill. Must I then become friends to Candyman because he don't kill me? It just makes me look like a killer. You're high, you're eerie, you're spooky, you're strange, you're anomalous, you're weird, you're freaky, you're animals. And if I find your grubby paws on my shoulders, I am going to grab any scissors I can find and try to chop every last one of your phalanges. But I gotta see where you're coming from. You're a haunting and you are scary. And so because you're scary, I'm gonna scream and I will never stop screaming. And when I scream, I will perpetually keep on hoping that somebody will hear my screams all the way up until I die. And then one day he who indeed evacuates entities will rock up and say, Freddy, I'm sorry, no, not this one, not this one, not this time. You're not gonna take my daughter. You already martyred enough of my saint. This one gets to live, get married in the morning. Love and marriage goes together like a horse and carriage. Yeah, this one is gonna get a future. Those that you have lain prostrate, martyrs under the altar. But this one is gonna live. Freddy on that day is just gonna have to squeal and screech, isn't he? He's gonna have to squawk like a bird. Yeah, and then be no more. He will be put in a pit in the abyss, just like the devil and his entity. They're going to the second death. They're going to the lake of fire. In that place, there is weeping and gnashing of teeth, and the smoke of your torment rises up forever. There is no rest for you day and night, but it was made for the devil and his angels. The devil is Freddy Krueger. The devil is a thing that goes bump in the night. The devil is scary. The devil is a haunting. The devil is a reptilian. The devil is a Nephilim. The devil is an otherworldly, supernatural phenomenon. The devil is an unidentified aerial phenomenon. The devil is a UFO. And all such things go to the lake of fire. So if you're going to make like the devil, if you're going to make yourself a hybrid, if you're going to act like a devil, if you're going to make like a Tigoloshi, if you are going to haunt, for crying out loud, how scary you be. People like you are the devil, I'm sorry, go to hell. If you are going to haunt people like that, then go to hell. Because that's exactly where such weird, freaky gnomes go. That's where Smurfs go. That's where one-eyed monsters go. That's where Shrek goes. Okay? That's where talking animals go. That's where Homu Ya Metzin goes. Because it's a fallen angel. So seeing as you be out here messing with all that, go to where your daddy be, go to where your entities be, go to where your enablers be, and let the rest of us that want to be out here living a proper earthly life live. Because right now you've made out of South Africa a zombie apocalypse. You've made this the Walking Dead. Grunting all the day long, I'm sorry, no. Human beings are supposed to talk, not bark. Human beings are supposed to talk, not grunt. Human beings are supposed to walk, not slither. Human beings are supposed to sit, not lie in coffins like vampires. Take your ghoulish, scary, ominous, and anomalous country that's a haunting now. Take your South Africa and your Naledi Pandemonium and your Cyril Ramaphosa and your Nating Tetra that out here has no balance. Take them. But as for me and my house, we're gonna serve the Lord. Take your crazy little burnt up to a crisp, like some biscuits left too long in the oven country, and as inedible as it is, try to keep on feeding yourself to some people that will somehow take you seriously. But as for me and my house, listen, no. Anyway, whatever. So this is these people's rituals, right? Like that. That's how Sangomas Twasa. That's how they get initiated, right? There's much more activity going on in that place that I don't care to learn about, because really, frankly, it's not my subject matter expertise. I don't care to know more. But their Twa ring is just riddled with demonic clarity, and not for people to be like, listen, if I want to be a lady of the light or a dude of the light, I can't be a sangoma. You gotta see that that stuff is evil. You know that it's evil, but I don't know, there is a great deal of in denial. So do you with your mpepo, do you with your sage. Okay, keep on inhaling steam into your lungs and act as if though it's not causing cancer. Like, just do that. But what you need to understand, however, is that the same people that come out of that having drunk blood, communed with animals, grunted like they've got epilepsy, somehow think that there is a difference between them and the ones that killed children for their eyes, the ones who murdered Jocelyn Smith, the ones who grabbed 3-year-olds from the park and harvest their livers, the ones who exsanguinate the blood of babies and drink it in satanic rituals. Somehow you think you're different. People who twasad like that belong to very nefarious secret societies. Mankind is born greedy, hating God, just bereft of righteousness, totally depraved, imaginative of their grandiosity, however, just bereft of anything good. And so for those reasons, if you can dangle enough money in their faces, they will do even rituals they imagine they will never do. Impoverish a sangoma enough, and they will do a satanic ritual that they thought to themselves that they would never do. There was a woman on TikTok that once was featured on one dude's YouTube channel, Ricky from Church Reality Check, and he featured some witch lady that was out here complaining about other witches and how dark they are and how they keep killing people and saying you're putting a bad name on our kingdom. Listen, do you know who puts a bad name on your kingdom? People who lie about your kingdom. When they're speaking truth, no, on that day they are not lying about your kingdom. We've got people putting a bad name on our kingdom. I belong to the kingdom of Jesus, hallelujah, amen. I'm a Christian. And there was a dude in this country by the name of Joshua Mhlakela and some other little charlatans hopping up and down the streets reviling the name of Christ by stating rapture dates and insisting that he is God himself. He's giving a bad rap for Christianity and for God. He's lying about us, so, and provably so. So we can shun him and say, please don't listen to him. He's not of us. He's not like me. We're not the same thing. We're wearing different outfits altogether. He's in pink and I'm in red. Yeah. When people practice spells using the same dark art, the same dark entities, and then you claim that they are maligning your kingdom, I'm sorry, no. Joshua is coming in the name of Beelzebub, it's clear. While the rest of us who rebuke him, Mike Winger, etc., no, they're coming in the name of the Lord. So we can basically disprove him as a charlatan. But when you're coming in the name of Beelzebub, sat down in the same kingdom, Leviathan, and then you claim that because the one is coming in the name of the Leviathan while the other is coming in the name of Apollyon, that is different. It's the same kingdom. Same exact kingdom. And so no, you don't get to say, but you're reviling the name of Sangomas because we don't kill, but you do. You're using the same power. You know it's the same power because when you get initiated in the occult, you all drink blood, you all commune with animals, and you all grunt, and you all slither on the floor like snakes. But some of y'all are sanctimonious and self-righteous too much to steal husbands, steal boyfriends, and too sanctimonious to kill people for their powers. Nonetheless, this Sangoma rocks up like a bat out of the abyss. And it's like, how dare you make out of all of us look so nasty? Tina esi twalile. Like I said, twala twasa, same thing. So if I link these words, it's like whatever, give the same thing, because the same kingdom, same actor, same lambo, same serpent in the garden that deceived Eve, okay, same thing. But apparently there's a difference, so let's try and keep with the terminological differences. Twasa, those who twasad, yeah, you all twasad in the same way, to the same ritualists, to the same gogos, even though they're like 22, whatever. You twasad to the exact same initiators. It's just that others went rogue because the human heart, it's a deep bubble things and desperately wicked. And if you can just impoverish a witch doctor long enough, if you can basically threaten them with foreclosure on their house, if you can threaten them with repossession of their cars, if you can threaten them with starvation of their children, yeah, the same witch doctor that was not about not about the business of killing anybody will kill somebody for the right price, because you know you're using the exact same powers, you're using the same kingdom, the same magic. You can tap into it. Like I said, twala twasa, same thing. It's like all the dance. So there are people that get given bikoto for 50,000 rands. But even though they've never killed in their lives, this time around they will go into a ritual that's very, very extreme. Because listen, my kid is facing a gap year when she's just 1 year away from graduating university. I'm taking this 50K and I'm paying off her fees. I'll only do it this one time. Just one time. Just one time. Just this one time. I'm going to kill a person like, yeah, you can bleed out an individual, exsanguinate them, kill them, bring them to eternity and say it's just one day. That's how much you have no value for human life. There's no sanctity to human life. It's just one little murder. Just one tiny, one small, so negligible. It's just one small little homicide. Come on, Chuchisi, have mercy on me. I've never killed before. It was just one little homicide. A judge will look at you and say, what is going on with this mentally ill crazy? If anything, not only am I going to judge them like a life sentence, I'm not even going to put them on death row. I'm going to put them in a mental asylum. I'm going to basically make them plead insanity because they thoroughly think that they have committed just a tiny little homicide when there are 50 people mourning like dogs, when there are vigils being held in 4, 5, 7 churches in his town because of his when there is a bereaved widow and children left without a dad. It was just one small little, such tiny, negligible little homicide. Yeah, pay a sangoma enough money with them striving through enough sorrow, they will commit one small little homicide. They will kill your daughter. They will kill your son. They will kill your mom, your dad, your aunt, and say, but it was just one human sacrifice. And the guy paid me a cool, whopping 70K. One little life taken from the earth with one little widow mourning, raising 2 little children that can't do without their dad. That's your kin. All it takes is the right motivation. All it takes. There is a guy that did a human sacrifice ritual on me, having told himself he would never kill me because he just could not stomach the prospect of me marrying somebody else. He was ordained an elder in his church. One little human sacrifice, because this one here woman, I can't let her marry anybody else. Yeah, so my mom gotta be bereaved, my sisters, and South Africa gotta get away with all this murder. Because I mean, Karabo, I just love you too much. Listen, go die. That's your kingdom. Take it. Like, just take it. With your one little murders, your one little baby sacrifices, your one little 3-year-old that you steal from a park, and you harvest their liver, your one little Jocelyn Smith. Yeah, that one hit home, didn't it? One little Jocelyn Smith. Except an entire nation mourned. Listen, whatever. Black culture and your ancestral worship that you think ihlugile somehow from those who do really extreme evil versus those that are contained within the satanic magic. It's one thing and all of it is a frenzied cult, and it's only a matter of time before some of your most pious sangomas commit the most abominable act. It's only a matter of time. So if they all twasa at the same spot, and in their twasarization is the same process, and so therefore they belong to the same kingdom, and the same ones that murder are the same ones are using the same power source as the ones that only help you get a job, because you know you've been unemployed for 3 years. It says that in its entirety, this kingdom is witchy and destructive to a land. And so seeing as in it, there are entire constitutional rights infringed of people upon others consulting the crazies of this kingdom. There should be laws against it. It should be regulated, right? So people don't commit one little murder. People don't commit one little murder, and so people don't steal one little job. And so people don't take one little husband, and so people don't decimate one little future. Somebody gotta be out here aligning your crazy kingdom with the constitution of the country, but nobody's doing it. Why? Because your kingdom has got one little lack of regulation. In it you murder, so you basically just kind of rob us, eh? You humiliate, you absolutely decimate and obliterate our constitutional right to a life. We have got a right to make a living, earn a living, and so essentially not be a burden on the government with a stipend out you being paid to us at the handsome age of 41, and you be out you getting a stipend from the government even though you are perfectly able to work, but no, you gotta get a stipend because you're unemployed. Yeah. The government says go and work, you got a right to go and do that, and I'm trying to work and South Africans are blocking me using witchcraft, using transfer the wealth and whatnot, and I'm like, you are infringing on my constitutional right to earn a living, you idiot. But no, you don't care because your kingdom is anonymous and don't nobody ought to be regulating it. So if your government has no regard for human rights insofar as they are being taken away by witchcraft, then I have no regard for your country. You debilitate people's human rights. Gabulu, everybody is a law unto themselves. It's anarchy. It's a circus in the street. It's anarchists committing crimes all the day long. It's a purge, like the movie, because it's unregulated and it prospers to commit crimes that nobody knows are being committed. If you're living in a crime state like Colombia or like Mexico, a narco state like Venezuela, you're not going to be okay against a president that is peddling drugs unless you leave the country, because proper, if you want to be a moral citizen, you're not for the life of you going to succeed in a land that is so criminal. Some years ago I watched Gotham, the remake that is chilling on Netflix right now, the one with not Halle Berry but Jada Pinkett as Fish Mooney. Gotham, that is on Netflix right now. Watched it on USBs because somebody gave me the series, and is it Don Falcone, the head honcho boss guy, speaking with Jim Gordon. Don Falcone, upon having compassion on Jim Gordon's zeal as a police officer that's trying to do the right thing, then talks Jim Gordon down on some dude, you are naive, but I respect your zeal because I love your dad. Your dad was my friend, so out of honor for your dad, because him and I were business partners, Jim Gordon was the son of a criminal. Jim Gordon was the righteous son of a criminal. You know how stuff like that happens in families. It happened with me. Jim Gordon was the righteous son of a criminal, and his dad used to rub shoulders with Don Falcone, the crime kingpin of Gotham City. And upon Jim Gordon out here trying to bash his fist against the crime syndicates of Gotham, Don Falcone one day says to him, oh Jimmy boy, for the sake of your dad and our relationship, I'm gonna give you counsel in this Gotham. Righteous men or good men are not good for business in the crime stage. You're not gonna win. Proper Don Falcone now should be telling Jim Gordon that you're not gonna win because you're too righteous for Gotham. Just give up, throw in the towel, make like your dad. Make like your dad. And join the bad side. Be a bad cop. Be a dirty cop. And Jim Gordon is like, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you! And then of course he became not so much Batman, but pretty much like almost Robin, whatever. He became the beloved police officer that Bruce be out here hanging out with it all the day long. But one of that whole scene, stored like dichotomy, duplicity, if you will, that you see in that scene in the show Goth, where Don Falcone be out here telling Jim Gordon, get over it, move on. I'm gonna give you good, nice counsel so that you can early on spare yourself a lot of heartache in the future. You're too righteous for a crime state. You're not gonna win. There's too much corruption. We are everywhere. We're in the police force. We are everywhere. I mean, if you're Jim Gordon, you could have a delusion of grandeur, or maybe even a true desire of grandeur, for the Lord has given you a job. Amen. To, and narco up Colombia, and narco up Mexico, and narco up Venezuela. But if you just want to live out the rest of your days as a mom with 7.5 children and a picket fence and a husband, and you just want to live a normal life, if you don't want too many issues, you will take Don Falcone's advice and realize that, listen, I'm not going to get anything dead in Gotham. If I want my 2.5 kids and my Palisade fence, I must move to a country that's not a narco state. I did not sign up for living in a narco state. I didn't sign up for living in a witchcraft state. I didn't sign up for living in a crime state. South Africa, whatever the heck you are, I didn't sign up for this. Plus, I'm a woman. This year is too bush a mission for Umfazoiwan. I'm Zowina, and I have confessed at the very beginning of this message, I said I'm not gonna win. You've got resources, you've got things, springs you can pull, Papa, you can. I get that. Yeah, but I'm not yours. Like a bird, I just brought wings, Papa, I'm flying. I'm leaving. I've been wanting to leave for a very long time. Since you put me in this position, I've been wanting to go. There's nothing I can do for you. You are Gotham and Don Falcone are to be giving me advice that I like you. I like you because you're pretty. So I'm gonna give you this advice. Family members that are part of my kingdom, I'm gonna give you this advice. You're not gonna win. This is a crime state. You're gonna end up a Stepford wife out here pushing a trolley robotically, having initially been an activist, a protagonist for a movement, telling yourself that you're gonna win. One day, you're gonna be one of the Stepford wives. Girl, you are gonna marry a devil worshiper, or you could leave. I mean, all the best. You know how they're telling me, good luck. When I say I'm moving to the US, yeah, they be like, good luck. I'm like, thank you for wishing me well. I don't believe in luck, just by the way, but, I guess that's the only language that's on your tongue that you can believe, seeing as you're a Satanist. I am gonna leave. You don't believe it? It's okay. You don't gotta. Don Falcone. But one thing that is true is that I respect that you love crime enough, love corruption enough, love a failed state enough, love a witchcraft state enough, love a decimated economy enough, that you love a socio-economic disaster enough to pride yourself in the fact that this is a crime state you're not going to win as a righteous man. I am happy that you have at least gone to a point where you can be content with a failed state. But I'm not going to be part of you. I am leaving. Take your country, Maroney. Take your country, Don Falcone. But as for me and my house, we will wait on the Lord to leave, because this here is too heinous, too mammoth a task for one little girl, because that's thoroughly all I am to this beast that thinks that one day I'm going to be a Stepford wife. I have not deserved this nasty. I have stood strong, firm with Jesus. I'm not barging, I'm not moving. This here kingdom, don't nobody move. It's a pearl of great price. I have found an excellent thing. I'm not leaving. But your attempt to move me is going to rather get you bride in the eternal lake of fire that you deserve to go to. And as for your crime state, Gotham, listen. Go to the abyss with your leaders. Go to the abyss, South Africa. Keep on jumping off buildings with your leaders, like do that. Keep on causing pandemonium like your leaders, do that. But as for me and my house, we're gonna move elsewhere. I'm not staying. Your nation is insane. You're mental. You're mental. Do you understand? You're mental. Boloyi, you think it's this lapel. You wear it as a brooch. You think it's the solution for everything. You struggle to do this, to move left to right, to move right, or to so much as wiggle. And so you figure that you can just bewitch the whole damn country, and that's how you're gonna get out? I'm sorry, no, it's not sustainable. Look at Haiti. They wiggled their way out of everything with voodoo. And now there's cannibals crawling in the streets. Gangs are running everybody, and nobody can breathe. Their level of education is at an all-time low, and people's IQ is withering. The whole country as a concert is literally becoming dumber because of witchcraft. Keep your nation. I don't want it. I don't want it. Look at Joshua doubling down on the Saint Twins looking dumb. Even the Saint Twins girl is like, are you still setting a date? Why are you still interviewing him? That's what eventually causes a failed state. Keep your unregenerate and unrepentant country. But I'm not staying in it. Your sangomas are the exact same thing. Now that I have spoken at length as to what it means to be a sangoma, what it takes, and what they do, how they commune with spirits, how they commune with animals and they think they're normal, how they be making like Dr. Dolittle, but it's not a movie, it's not fiction, it's the real deal. Yeah, well, they have made that a curriculum inside universities in this country. They have insisted on traditional studies be one of the subjects in our universities, including the university I used to attend, Wits University. It's called African Studies or whatever. And in it, they're literally teaching students witchcraft. If you teach people witchcraft, on that day, everybody is on the mountain where everybody is twasaring. Do you understand? There is no way under heaven that you can take a person to culinary school or to pastry school and step by step show them how to make puff pastry or a mince casserole and them not experiment in their freaking houses to make puff pastry and mince, as they saw it at school. Go on and in a higher learning institution, a university that is respectable, and teach students to do witchcraft and expect that they're not going to take it home. Ancestral worship and witchcraft sorcery, therefore, is being taught in our universities as per decree by our government. In order for us to maintain our culture, our roots, the ANC, left us as it is trying to decolonize our universities because everybody is out here picking a bone with colonialism, and so therefore whatever the colonialists brought on board and whatever curriculum the colonialists might have taught, all of their Christianity, we're taking it out and instead we're replacing it with our roots. But your roots are witchy, aren't they? Your roots are witchy, and so seeing as your roots are witchy, you are then taking Christianity out of the universities, theological seminaries, and you are rather replacing them with ancestral worship, including witchcraft. And you expect people to then on that day, just like a theological seminary student that gets converted for Christ, you're expecting Christians, not Christians, but students not to get converted into witches. It's like this littered garbage can called TikTok and basically all social media where there are people actually teaching people to do spells online. Of course, you're manufacturing an entire army of Satanists, aren't you? You're manufacturing an army of Satanists on that day, littered about these streets, hopping up and down on a beach ball like some kangaroos, and you expect there were so many witches filling the streets that people are not going to be unhinged and get on a roof and unleash a live round into a man's neck. You think they're not going to stop you? You think that they're not going to stop murdering saints when you are to be raising up an army of murderers, of killers, of people that follow after those who drink blood? You think you're then not going to cause a nation to in and of itself as a concert be bloodthirsty when you're training their students at university? Witchcraft. You're bringing more people perched on roofs to come and kill Christians proper. You're producing more Charlie Kirks. You are causing more people to burst into churches and out here burn them like it's Mississippi burning, like what happened in Congo. You are out here causing more martyrs of Christians in Nigeria, 7,000 strong as at this date today. You are giving people radical ideologies. Do you freaking understand? And with them, they feel like Christianity and therefore the colonialist religion is the thing that is an impediment, a thing that's standing in the way of them and their goals. And so if they can eliminate us, then they will. And so therefore now we're dealing with what? Genocide. We're dealing with wholesale murder, martyrdom therefore of saints. But no, I'm just coming back to my roots at a university where I'm teaching kids you witchcraft, and you expect those same kids not to experiment with spells in their kitchens until they hate every Christian in their families, until their grandmothers that taught them the Bible start becoming a little bit of a snare to this kid. And so now he's put a knife, as opposed to this time around a bullet, in the neck of their grandmother. It keeps on saying, I told you these things are not of God. Our nation is dying and our government is trying to teach kids Satan. But in my country, unlike in the US, there's no opposing force. That's why I gotta go, right? There's no actual opposition. There is nobody actually standing in universities and trying to resist this thing. Our government is left and is pushing its thing. Our government is thoroughly trying to dehumanize our universities, and they're just running with it. And the voices of reason are few and far between, barely perused, scant in the streets, and they cannot achieve anything. Black people are besotted with their magic, and there's nothing you can tell them about it. It is no wonder, therefore, they can be bold-faced and brazen and speak on a table talk like Notabaloi and call white people Neanderthals. Like, they can easily do stuff like that because you are uprooting colonialism, right? So you can just slap people that have got citizenship within your country with the status of Neanderthals. Do you? But I don't want to be here. I don't. Call me whatever you want to call me, Uncle Tom, religious nationalist, I don't whatever you want to call me, but you're frenzied with mental illness. You're so frenzied with mental illness that this here life that I am living is, listen, it's feasible to you all. I am 41. I know I don't look at, praise God for preservation, but like I'm 41. However, I was entered into this obscurity at 29. Frankly, fresh out of my mother's womb, I get entered into obscurity, and over a decade later, I'm facing menopause without children. I am facing the life of being a spinster for life. I am facing poverty for life, albeit being literally one of your biggest and brightest minds. I am facing suicide, albeit wanting with every bone in my body to live and be vivacious on the streets. South Africa, you did that, and you still are creasing no foreheads about what under heaven is the travesty that I am. Nothing of you friends, nothing of you family members, nothing of you strangers wags your heads at this situation. Do you not see you're a culture frenzy? Do you not see you're barbarian? Do you not see that you have destroyed the country? Why is no one in my immediate family, my extended family, former friends, so deeply and richly concerned for my sorrow and my life to try and ascertain I don't end up killing myself? Why is no one worried that I might end my life? Why is no one concerned that I am a suicide risk? Why? Because how do you ostracize a woman for an entire freaking decade and expect them to just keep breathing? That's why we get it. You can incarcerate a person until they can't live. But I serve a God that can release fetters, chains, like he did with Paul and every other prisoner in the prison where Paul was at. You will remember that story in the Apostles, in the Acts. You will remember that story in the Acts of the Apostles. How Paul and is it Barnabas? They were singing gospel music in the jail cell over there, and their chains got loosed on their feet and on their hands, and bars of their jail cell broke loose, and that happened, never mind for Paul, but everyone in that prison, until the jailer, the warden, tried to commit suicide, and Paul was like, no, don't commit suicide. Look, they're all still here. Nobody escaped. Nobody left. And so that same prisoner got born again. So that was God's plan for his life. And then he invited Paul to his house to go and eat some dinner or whatever, some grub, once he got set free. Paul, of which then lamented that, listen, you didn't set me free, right? So why do you want me to leave when you didn't set me free? You tell the people what you did to me. That story of psalms, hymns, and spiritual songs being sung in a prison until everybody's shackled, never mind the saints' shackles, got loose, is the kind of miracle that God does for people. Where you think you've got me all up in a chain, but then the Lord sets me free miraculously, because God sees the sorrow of my soul, and God sees that I am literally sought for made. You know how in Canada, I lamented about that in my last video, they've got medically assisted, medical assistance in dying, made, a form of euthanasia. Yeah, people are actually trying to put me on made when I didn't sign up for it. God has come to give life and life abundantly. He breathed into Adam and he became a living soul. He has a thing about life, he cherishes it, and he says, don't murder, don't take it. God doesn't want me killing myself, but you've put me in a position to die. When you that thing, understand, me and my psalms, hymns, and spiritual songs, me and my music, me and my oil upon your feet, me and my wine for him to drink, me and my water from my heart, me and my pouring my love on him, me and my praise, that's like perfume, lavishing it on Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, it's going to break fetters, it's going to break chains, it's going to bring down a prison bar, and it's also going to set free everybody else in this prison. And the jailer will come out of this scot-free, because we are going to say, as a concert, God wanted to save you for such a time as this. You, who are staking out a person's ministry, nesting us out of it, surveilling a person, policing a saint until you get born again. That's who I am. I'm just setting free all of your little monitors in the occult, giving them a run for their money, making them feel very, very uncomfortable with the kingdom they belong to, so they can see that what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and yet lose his soul? I'm favored by this country's governor, but what the heck, he's going to hell and so am I. So no, I ain't doing any of this. I'm not doing it. I belong to Jesus. Your fetters and your chains can't restrain me. They cannot constrain me. They cannot contain me. And you also don't get to put me on medical assistance in suicide. You don't get to put me on a medical assistance in dying. You don't get to make like Canada. You don't get to make like, is it New Zealand? Not New Zealand, but Switzerland or Sweden. They'll be out here putting people in nitrogen pods to breathe their last, because their lives are too hard. One story was so heartbreaking of a man that wanted to live. He didn't want to die, but hey, he was about to be put out on the street. The country of which is a socialist country, so why not give a man a home? Because he was facing foreclosure on his house. And he was like, I'm opting for maid. Mutfateng is not born again, so he is going to go to an even grander prison. He's already there today. The man has already been killed. But he was interviewed in the run-up to his death. I mean, really, how ghoulish can you get? How freaky can you get? How ominous can you get? How ghostly, ghastly, deathly can you get? When you are interviewing a man that everybody by the time of watching that interview is aware is now dead. Yeah, but no, he wanted to live. It's just that he was facing poverty in the streets, so the country helped him die. That's 2025, but I don't belong to your crazy quiet countries. I don't belong to your little ideology. I don't get taken out by y'all's imagination that, albeit being a socialist country, into giving people stipends, seeing as I don't have any money at all and no life at all, I guess I better kill myself now because you've medically assisted me in dying, haven't you? No, South Africa, whatever, keep your maid, okay? As for me and my house, we're gonna live, and I'm gonna get, like I said, I'm about to go and be love and marriage, da-da, goes together like horse and carriage, I'm getting married. I'm gonna be loved. One is gonna be besotted with me. I'm gonna give birth to children, yes, in my late years. And no, I will not miscarry a single pregnancy. I will carry the term. I will live that life and you will mourn. Because what the heck are you doing euthanizing your own people that are perfectly viable, able to live thriving lives? Because on top of that, you done gone and trained university students to do exactly what you did. It's your country. Keep it. Keep boldly. I'm done. Keep jumping off buildings like Natin Tetra, do that. But as for me and my house, we are gonna live. You are not gonna kill me. Devour, listen, it's not happening. Devour, listen, I'm not going anywhere except up. Devour, listen, I'm not doing anything except Christ. Devour, listen, I'm not a zombie, you are. So Devour, you do death, but I'll do life. Devour, I'm Lazarus and I've come forth and Devour. Like Naaman, albeit having treated me like a leper, I will be dunked in the river Jordan 7 times and I'll come out looking like a baby. Devour, I'm not yours. I belong somewhere else. Keep your country. Listen, okay, like proper I really keep it. Lahlanga as a concert. It's The Walking Dead is a zombie apocalypse and you are telling people that there's nowhere else to go. Yeah, okay. God has a thing about nowhere else to go, right? He ought to be bringing somebody else that has a different opinion. God is the heavenly physician that gives you a second opinion. You be out to getting a scissor-happy surgeon trying to operate on a perfectly healthy body and you say, I want a second opinion because surgery seems extreme. It happened to me once before. Where some dude, upon me going to him with an issue, decided that he's going to cut me up. And my older sister, before I went under the knife, was like, whoa. He was so hectic. How in the world did he just figure that you need to go and get surgery? Get a second opinion. I go see my sister's doctor, and my sister's doctor is like, oh, no, you don't even need medication. This thing will go away on its own. Set me free to fly like a bird, and lo and behold, a couple of weeks down the line, I was right as rain. But somebody wanted to cut me. Yeah, Christ is that second physician that gives you an alternative diagnosis. to show you that the initial physician was freaking scissor happy. He was scalpel happy. He was just trying to make a whole chunk of money by cutting into another doctor does a proper diagnosis. There is a woman that gave a testimony somewhere, and I listened to this testimony from Tom Hughes' channel, who shared this particular witness speaking about the issues with artificial intelligence. And there was this one crazy lazy doctor. Listen, I have had crazy lazy doctors before in my life, and they've made me sick. They've made me sicker. I had a dermatologist that, without taking bloods, without doing nothing, just put me on Roaccutane, and I was vomiting for 2 weeks. I went to another dermatologist, and he also put me on Roaccutane, but a certain dosage because he took bloods. I thought I was allergic to Roaccutane, but I was allergic to rather that dermatologist. Yeah, you got lazy doctors in these streets. And witch doctors are lazy doctors. Witch doctors are lazy doctors. But God is the perfect physician. Do you understand? Scalpel happy sir people who want to charge you a handsome fee, for doing surgery on a body that don't need no such surgery. The Lord will always give you a second opinion if you go to him. The Lord will treat your wounds. He will put a band-aid on there. The Lord will give you a course of antibiotics and send you home. But a but a scalpel happy surgeon will insist on cutting into your body. So Tom Hughes was speaking about this one lady who had one such diagnosis happy oncologist. It wasn't even an oncologist, it was a regular GP, but that nonetheless referred this woman to an oncologist because apparently allegedly she had cancer. But listen, these lazy surgeons that are like witch doctors, these lazy doctors that are like witch doctors, that don't do proper blood panels, they don't do a proper anything, they just be like proper, they don't do anything proper, they just diagnose because you look like you have cancer. Just from like sniffing in the sky, it appears you have cancer. Yeah, Tom Hughes spoke about a lady of this nature. No, it wasn't Tom Hughes, it was the Watchman River Tom. I guess everybody's Tom in these streets, right? It was the Watchman River Tom speaking about artificial intelligence and its dangers. And apparently, allegedly, there is a woman in the United States of America that hates AI for this purpose. She said in her testimony that, listen, I went to a doctor that gave me horrisi and nightmares before I could get an oncologist appointment 2 weeks down the line from the date that I saw him, because he gave me a cancer diagnosis and said I'm frankly unhealthy. No, not cancer, but no, it wasn't even an oncologist, but rather a cardiologist that she was referred to. The GP does some scan and has technology that is artificial intelligence that reads scans and so therefore produces not even a prognosis but a diagnosis based on the scans that an AI machine reads. AI. I'm busy. It is an artificial intelligence machine. Reads scans produced by a machine and gives a diagnosis to the doctor. But it is a machine. It's like finger detangling that way when it comes to 4C hair. You can feel around knots and so therefore more carefully detangle your hair rather than just using a tool and combing, ripping through your strands. You're better off using your hands. So right next to using a tool, you better first finger detangle so you can feel your way around. So when you've got a machine that reads a diagnosis, as a doctor, you better finger detangle, brother. You better finger detangle, sister. Because if you don't finger detangle, brother or sister, you're going to be out misdiagnosing a patient when upon finger detangling, you would have been able to see that the artificial intelligence machine misread the diagnosis. However, what is going on here is just a little bit of a case of heartburn. But you'll be fine, take some Gaviscon. Yeah, lady was out given not so much 3 months to live per se, but she was told that she's in bad shape, that she's got a heart condition, that she needs to change her diet because yes, like it, when that machine came back and gave the diagnosis, the woman was on her deathbed. If she don't do lifestyle changes now, okay, this lady's thinking I'm so unhealthy, starts eating the celery and carrots for lunch and breakfast. This woman starts going to the gym even though she wasn't ready for any of that. I mean, lifestyle change, I guess it did that for her, but she starts to try to bring down whatever's going on in her body to a normal level. Takes the scans after finally going to see a cardiologist that she was referred to. Now that she had, of course, a heart issue, she had to now go see a cardiologist, and the cardiologist grabs the same scan that the AI machine read and is like, not only does his own scan and gets the same readings, but then compares the readings and sees that they're the same, and then says, woman, you ain't got nothing going on in your heart. You are fine. What in the world? I don't know why this doctor said you've got a heart condition. It was probably because his machine read the results using AI and so misdiagnosed you. And this woman, breathing a sigh of relief, developed just a fiend, like a fiend out of the fiefdom of artificial intelligence. That's what it is, just an absolute enemy out of AI. Lazy doctors be out here giving you a bad diagnosis, a wrong diagnosis. They be out here telling you that you're passing away. They're telling you you've got cardiac arrest knocking at the door. You are 5 seconds away from a heart attack. Listen, you are dying. You've got myocarditis. But AI is reading it, and your lazy doctor does not do his own reading. He does not investigate this chart. He wants to get this stuff done quickly. Just next on a conveyor belt.